This is Shimano's latest shifting system, and it's called Linkglide. Now, it's specifically designed to be the most durable transmission that they've made, keeping you on the trails longer and saving you cash. But how is it actually different to Hyperglide and everything they've made before? Let's find out, shall we? Shimano have sent me a Linkglide setup and have asked me to make a video explaining exactly what it is, how it works, and who it's for. As let's face it, there's loads of tech out there when it comes to transmissions on bikes, and all that jargon can be a bit confusing. Shadow Plus, Shadow RD Plus, Dynamic Chain Engagement Plus, Hyperglide Plus, all that sort of thing. So, Linkglide, what is it? Who is it for? Let's find out, shall we? Now, before we get started, I just need to introduce you to the Linkglide family because there's 4 components here and you have to use them together. They're not compatible with Hyperglide or anything else in the Shimano family. So you have the shifters, you have the rear derailleur, you have the cassette, and you have the chain. But really the main tech comes from the cassette, and this is what this video is going to be focused around today. Now, you might have heard me refer to Hyperglide a second ago, so let's just take a look at Hyperglide just to see what it is so we can differentiate between Hyperglide and Linkglide. Now, Hyperglide was introduced in the early 1990s onto Shimano shifting systems, and the whole point was to improve the shifting up into those lower gears, which of course is often done under power, quite often at a bad time, under a lot of torque, a lot of pressure. I mean, let's face it, unlike our road riding friends who can spin perfect circles when you're riding a mountain bike off-road, sometimes when you change gear, it's out of necessity. You really need that lower gear. And when you're crunching through the gears, of course, you get poor shifting. Shimano's answer was putting loads of profiles on the actual cassette itself. Now, these profiles include shifting gates, like you can see here, and you can also see some odd-shaped teeth on the actual cassette itself. They're not damaged teeth, that each one has been very intricately designed and machined to help hook the chain up the cassette as fast as possible. The faster you can shift, the less likelihood it is to skip gears. And of course, it just makes it a very clean shifting, very good system. Now, a bit later on, they invented the Hyperglide Plus concept, which was the exact same format, but to help the chain come back down the cassette. Now, shifting down into the smaller sprockets was never a problem when we had 7-speed, 8-speed, even 9-speed. But now we're up to 12-speed on the rear. The sheer amount of gears, the amount of chain we have, means essentially when you're shifting down to those smaller sprockets, you've got less tension in the derailleur to pull the chain down there. So by having Hyperglide Plus, those shifting patterns help literally pull the chain off each sprocket, and you get the same effect as changing up. So up or down, under pressure or not, you get really, really good shifting. But to accomplish this, they had to basically reinvent the cassette. So this is a 12-speed cassette and it has a very unique mounting system known as microspline. And essentially the whole system together works really well, and you'll see this on levels from DL all the way up to XTR. But it works exclusively with this system. You will not see this with Linkglide because Linkglide is a very different concept. Linkglide is the new shifting transmission from Shimano, and it's an alternative, not a replacement, for the existing Hyperglide system. Now, whereas Hyperglide focuses on lightweight and the smoothest shifting possible, Linkglide is all about maximum durability. Now, Shimano engineers identified very quickly from the invention of e-bikes the fact that people were wearing out transmissions faster than ever. People were doing more miles and they're putting more torque and more strain on transmissions. So they set to work to design something that was capable for not only e-bikes, but for anyone that really covers ground and puts serious work into their transmissions and wears stuff out. Now, Shimano says that in testing, they found the Linkglide system, in particular the cassette, to last 3 times longer than the Hyperglide equivalent when faced with muddy conditions. Now, they specifically say muddy conditions. Why is that relevant? Well, think about what mud is. It's not just like watery stuff. It's got sand, it's got grit, it's got any number of horrible things in there that combine to make a fine grinding paste that really does wear out your transmission as you're riding. And if your cassette can last 3 times longer than a regular Hyperglide system, well, you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck. You're going to have less chain skipping, you're going to have smoother shifting, more longevity between repairs, more time on your bike. What's not to like about that? So who is Linkglide for? It's for e-bikers, it's for people who ride in nasty conditions, it's for people that are hard on their transmissions, and it's for those people that go through transmissions like hot dinners, you know, the type that just ride week in, week out, whatever the weather. If that sounds like you, then you could probably get the most out of something like Linkglide. You can expect to find Linkglide on all sorts of bikes. You're going to see it on e-bikes, you're going to see it on bikepacking bikes, adventure bikes, commuter bikes, all-terrain bikes, and of course mountain bikes. Any type of bike wanting maximum durability. So what are the actual features then on a Linkglide cassette? Let's have a look, shall we? So there's thicker and more robust teeth bases. These counter the area that sees the most wear. There's a new top shape profile being used. The other area of development is in the shifting gate design and position, which enables the chain to move smoothly up and down across those sprockets. These gates reduce pedal shock or jumps during shifting, which can actually really affect pedaling fluidity, giving smoother pedaling performance. Less gear skipping, notably under pressure. Perfect for both e-bikers or really those that love to put the pressure through the pedals. The bottom three sprockets, the 11, 13 and 15, are replaceable individually. Now these are the ones that wear out the fastest, which means you're going to get even more bang for your buck. Nice touch. Linkglide is not available as 12-speed though. To achieve 12-speed, the criteria really is to have the fastest shifting speed and keep the weight down. Linkglide is all about durability first. The rear derailleur has the same features we're already familiar with from the rest of the Shimano range. You've got a clutch on there with a switch lever to activate it on and off, and you've got the low profile Shadow RD Plus design to keep the derailleur as out of harm's way as it can be. The shifter is also specific to Linkglide and it comes in three options. There's a 10-speed band-on fitting, there's an 11-speed which is available in the band-on or in the I-Spec EV. Both 10 and 11 speed feature that lovely two-way release, which means you can double tap your way back down the sprockets into the higher gears. The DRX-T model, like this one, features the instant release feature for ultra-fast shifting. The new Linkglide 10 and 11 speed chain comes as an e-bike rated product. It's a more affordable option to Shimano's other 601, 701 and 901 11-speed e-bike rated chains. These chains plus the e-bike designed E8000 chain are all compatible with Linkglide. Now one of the best things about Linkglide is it's designed to save you money. Yeah, so it is going to last you longer. We know that Cassette can last up to 3 times longer, but the whole lot costs you less money as well. Now Linkglide is available in Dior and XT models. We have the XT here, so I'm going to show you some pricing in UK pound sterling here compared to regular XT 12-speed, just so you get an idea of the cost savings that can be made. The XT Linkglide system comes in both 10 and 11 speed and they retail for $62.99 and $94.99. If you were to compare it to Hyperglide, you'd be spending $154.99 at the same equivalent. For the rear derailleur, again, there's 10 speed and 11 speed options and they're priced at $49.99 and $102.99 versus $104.99 for the Hyperglide option. Shifters again in 10 and 11 speed, $33.99 and $55.99. $56.99 gets you the Hyperglide option. And then there's the chain. The XT Linkglide chain is $27.99. We could spend $44.99 for the Hyperglide 12-speed option. So we know that Linkglide is going to be better for those that crunch their gears, those that really crank out the miles, or if you're an e-bike rider, someone who puts a massive amount of torque through your gears. We know it shifts better under load, we know it's going to last longer, we know it's cheaper than regular Hyperglide as well. So what's the catch? It's only available in 10 and 11 speed options. It doesn't use the latest micro spline system, but that said, if you've got a regular splined hub, you can use it straight away. You need to be running a full Linkglide system, so that's a cassette, the chain, a rear derailleur and a shifter, because the pitch is slightly different, so it's not cross-compatible with Hyperglide. And also it's a fair bit heavier. So let's compare Linkglide weights to Hyperglide. The Linkglide, there's 1x11 and there's 1x10 options, and they are 780 grams and 634 grams. If you compare them to the XT 12-speed cassette, you're looking between 460 and 470 grams. But really, that is it. Linkglide is heavier, yeah. You're definitely going to notice a bit more weight on your bike. However, durability is the key here. Is durability more important to you? I think it probably is for many mountain bikers, in which case that is where you want to be looking. Now, just to underline the fact, Hyperglide is still the optimum shifting pattern at a low weight. whereas Linkglide is designed to really crank the miles, and if you're just not going to be spending as much time looking after your bike, you're going to get more bang for your buck with that. Hyperglide if you want to go fast, Linkglide if you want things to last. If you've got any questions about Linkglide, do get involved in the comments underneath there. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. See you later.